Okay, so we've created a P6, which is here in VS Code, and we've got this new folder labeled form, and it's got 3 .css files and 2 .svg files. So inside the blog, we've completed this part, and we're going to now start making changes to our index.html. This code is going to be added right before the end of actually right before the start of our footer. So let's go down and find the footer. We've got the close of main and the start of footer. For me, it's line 104. Your line is going to be different because we all have different articles. So right there, I have a spot for it. You see here, I highlighted all of this code and copied it, and now I'm going to paste it in. And it looks like a fairly clean I might right click and format document with Beautify. So it's going, since it isn't really part of the what I would consider the main part, the content part, it's special, like the footer is special. I put it outside of the close of main and before the start of the footer. So I can go ahead and save this. And if I want to open it up in Live Server, I can come over here, hover over index.html and right click and open with Live Server. And if you remember, there is default styling for any form that you create in all of the form controls that are present inside that form. So here it is. It's sort of in its unstyled or default styling. We have the field set that I mentioned before here and another one here. You'll notice this one is inside that one. And we have some input form controls. And it's working, but it's ugly, very ugly. So, and I think our textbook actually might mention somewhere that styling forms tends to be an art. There's no one way to style forms. And it typically requires a fair amount of CSS to get things working. So let's get some CSS in there. We have it already. Close that. We have it in these 3 files: form.css, radio.css, and select.css. So our instructions say add the form CSS files. And we're going to edit the index.html and add the links to these new CSS files. And this is not, let's see if I can open this in a new tab. Nope. Nope. See if I can just make it bigger. Oops, I did make it bigger. There we go. So we're going to be adding these 3 links. You'll notice that they occur right before the link that we have for CSS, styles.css. And this shows a couple of things. First of all, there's nothing super special about the folder CSS. We can have CSS files in other folders. And it also shows us the concept of the cascade. If you remember, all things being equal, rules, CSS rules that come last will win. And this is a very common way of organizing different CSS files, making sure that our CSS file is typically last. So the way that I'm doing this is sort of creating a package sort of in the use of this folder called form. It includes both the 3 CSSs, and it also includes the special SVG or 2 SVGs that we're using. So this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to, again, we're going to add 3 new links in our head. So we've got index.html open. Let's scroll up to the top. Here is, on my line 15, is the link to styles.css. So I'm going to come to the line just before that and open a new line and do a link. And it leaves me, it knows it should be a style sheet, and it leaves me inside the href, inside the double quotes, ready to start typing. So the folder is form / and then you'll notice VS Code is very nicely showing us the files that are in that folder. The first one we want is the form.css, link form / radio, and then one more link to form / select. In reality, the order of these for our example is not important, but sometimes it can become important, so we have to understand the times that it might become important. All right, so we'll save this, come back into our browser, we'll find the live server. I have to find the coffee cup. But I think I will do that in the next video. I'll leave this for now.